Hello, welcome back to another video. I am Cheryl here at the Made on Sunday studio, and I talk all about branding, design, and creative entrepreneurship on this channel. So if you are building out your own creative business right now, then be sure to subscribe to follow along. Now, in today's video, I am finally doing a little tour of my Notion space, specifically for all the things that I organize for my business side. So as you might know, I am absolutely obsessed with Notion, and I've been using it for probably the last 2 to 3 years now. And I use it for all things life, like personal as well as for business. But today's video, I really wanted to focus more on the business side, some of the process that I have, the system that I have set up, and also specifically the system that I have set up for working with my clients. I don't know if you guys know, but in my business, I do a lot of different things. I have this YouTube channel that I run. I have a separate kind of like vlog-ish YouTube channel that I run with my husband. And then I also create courses. And actually, one of my main things that I do in my business is my service-based business. I am a designer, so I design brands as well as websites for clients and freelancers and entrepreneurs around the world. And I actually heavily use Notion to manage that part of my system. So not only all the productivity and tasks related to the projects that I work on, but actually to collaborate with my clients through the client portal as well as communication all on Notion. So I thought it would be really fun and fascinating, maybe interesting for you to see how I use Notion and all the little business spaces that I have for my business. Whether you are a content creator or also a service-based provider, this might be kind of interesting for you to see. So why don't we get right into it? Let's hop onto my laptop and let's do this little tour. All right, welcome to my laptop. We are now in my Notion space, and this is the home dashboard. This is like kind of the home base of my whole Notion setup, where I've created like different sections here that kind of lead to whether it is something that I have to do daily, something to review my last week's, months, or years, my content creation space, my workspace for my business, Made on Sunday's business, space where I store all of my courses and education that I'm learning right now, as well as kind of some fun and exercise things. If you're interested in learning how I put this space together, I did actually film that last week, and I went over how I built this space, and I actually provide this exact template for free. So if you want to check that video out, that went out last week. But in today's video, let's go through specifically the workspaces. So every day, Monday to Friday, I work on my business, Made on Sundays. And the first thing that I actually do every morning is I go to my daily agenda space, and I actually go through how to make this as well, I believe, in that home dashboard video from last week. So again, if you want to create this space together, then go to last week's video about that. But basically every day I will wake up and I'll go to this daily agenda space. I think I previously called it action zone, but actually changed it this morning to daily agenda because it actually makes a little bit more sense. But call it whatever you like. This is where I would basically type in my daily to-do list. And in the beginning of every week, today is Monday, I actually go through into this little week look at my upcoming week, just to see what kind of things I want to work on and what I want to prioritize on every day for the coming weeks. So I'll go into this space. I'm still working on it right now, but I'll basically essentially go into here and go through Monday to Friday and see what I want to work on. And then I'll kind of move these tasks into my everyday to-do list. And then here, just really quickly, I have my healthy habits tracker. So right now I am dealing with some health things. So this is built very specifically for me to achieve my goals for the specific health thing that I'm working on. So Yeah, so this is kind of like my tracker for the week to see if I can kind of accomplish some of these habits that I'm working on. And then for this next space is basically all of my to-do lists, but in a calendar format. Sometimes it just makes it easier for me to kind of see everything in calendar format. If I wanted to schedule a to-do for the upcoming week or sometime in later that month, I can also do that and put it in here. And then that will eventually, let's say in April, I have an appointment that's already scheduled for April 1st or something, like right here. Then that will actually, once I add it into this space, it will actually show up on my to-do list on April 1st. So I really love seeing everything in kind of this calendar view as well. So once I have that completed, I will then go into the spaces that I'm working on. So for example, I have this little content creation space here, so maybe I want to review my content plan for the year. I will go into this space here. Today I'm working on filming a video, so I will go into my YouTube content creation hub and actually have again another separate video where I talked about how I plan out my YouTube ideas, and then I go into each space to kind of write out my scripts as well as everything that I need information wise regarding each video. So that's where I go and do that. If I want to go and create Instagram content, then I'll go into this content factory here, and then I'll use this space to kind of write out my descriptions for each Instagram post. And then I have a separate vlog channel. In case you didn't know, me and my husband Jesse, we have a vlog channel where we talk about all of our upcoming travels, our travel vlogs, our expat videos, how-to videos on, what it's like to live in Amsterdam and move to Amsterdam. And then for all of my courses that I'm working on, this is also a space that I created another separate video on. So right now I am working on a course that I'm launching actually next Monday called the Client HQ. And it is basically how to use Notion for freelancers. So in order to create this course, I actually, go into this space and I have all of everything I have to do for this course in this space. But if I am working on any client work, this is kind of the space that I focus on. So in case you didn't know, I do branding and website design for a lot of female entrepreneurs around the world. So one of the main kind of spaces that I have are the client database and this projects database. So let's just say that I have a new client discovery call. Maybe somebody filled out my discovery form on my website and they want to schedule a discovery call with me. Essentially what I would do is I would go into my client database here, and this is where I keep all of my past, current, and future clients in this space to keep track of all of the things that I need to know about them. So whether it is when their discovery call is, when they reached out, a little bit about where they're from or their time zone or packages that they're interested in booking with me. I will essentially go into this space right here and I will track all of that information so I can easily grab and look at all of the past information of all the clients that I've worked with, whether I've worked with them or not. So if I have a new client that's interested in working with me, I will essentially go into this space here and I'll create a new client. So I'll open up this space here and I'll put in their name. So let's say their name is like, I don't know, Nicole S. And so from here, I'll basically punch in some of their information. So I'll be like, they're from the United States. I have a discovery call scheduled with them for tomorrow, and they found me through Instagram. And it's this year that they found me, and they're in New York, so they're in Eastern time. And then I'll go into this space basically, and I'll create this discovery call template. And this is where I will quickly be able to create this template to prep for my discovery calls. So on the call, if there's anything, notes from the discovery form, I'll kind of put it into this space so I have all that information. But basically, I'll put their name so I know that they're going to be on the call. If there's anyone else on the call, I'll be able to type that into this space. I'll be able to type in their business name here, their industry, let's say they're a copywriter. And then in here, I might put down they're interested in, brand intensive and a website intensive. And then during the call, I will basically write all of the notes here. So I might go into this space and I'll write call notes here. And I'll just add like maybe some point form or a checklist here. To kind of jot down notes during the call. And right here are some notes about my branding services, my website services, as well as my process. So in here, I might put in like questions I typically ask for my branding clients who are interested in my branding services. If you are a brand new freelancer, it's so incredibly helpful to have this space here because you might have questions that you tend to like to ask on these calls, but you might get nervous on the call and you forget what kind of questions you want to make sure that you ask on the call. This is where you can put it into your little template here, so you don't have to keep writing the same questions for every single call. You can just create this template and you're good to go for the call. So after that, let's say this client is like good to go, we're ready to sign, I'm interested in working with you. Basically, I'll go into this space here and I'll create a project for them. So I'll go and create a new project here and I'll type in their name and you go to create a new project space. So then it actually creates a new project in my projects database. So I'll let you show you where my projects database here is. So right here is my master projects database. And what I just did right now was create a new database for Nicole. So as you can see here, that space was already created. So let's open that space and see what is here. So again, I've also created a template for any new client projects. So I'll just click into this template here. And essentially it will create this template for me. It's just with one click. I love creating templates on Notion for this reason. And for every single project that I work on, I like to type in like the scope of the project. Like let's say they have signed up for brand intensive and website intensive. And I'll kind of like put those, prices in. Let's say the brand intensive is $1,000 and I can just keep track of how much, what kind of things that my clients have signed up for and the prices that they're going to be paying for. I also like to include any expenses here. So let's say I am hiring my copywriter for this project. I can also write down her, let's say I'm paying her $500 for copywriting for this project, then I'll be able to track those within this project space. What I love about this project space is this is all internal space. So this is not stuff that my client will be able to see. So let's say I have all my clients' login information. I can type it in here. Let's say I want to put my client's invoice or my proposal. I can just drag those files into here as well. If I have any client calls with this client moving forward, I can also kind of write any notes that I need within the space. So this is all like internal stuff. Sometimes I even like to invite my copywriter into this section. So if I have any contractors that are working on this project with me, I might invite them into this space so that we all have the same information on hand. And then as I work with my clients, I'll actually have this client portal created with them. And this is my collaborative space that I've created with my clients. And essentially I will share the space with my clients. And this is most amazing space that I've created on my Notion space. I'm just going to go over it really quickly, but if you're interested in learning how I created all of these different spaces, then I have actually created a course on this. So I'll talk a little bit more about my course later, but essentially this is my client portal that I share with my clients. I include a little like a tutorial video with them. This is like a whole resources center basically. So anything to do with like administrative stuff about the project, they can find in this space here. And then as the project goes on, maybe I'll work on their mood board, on their logos, on their marketing materials. These are different spaces where I can basically share the assets with them, and then they'll be able to provide feedback right on Notion in these spaces. It's really amazing. And then the next section is where all of our to-dos are. And then once they complete it, they'll be able to check it off, and I'll know that they finished the task, and we both know that we are on to the next task within the project. And then here is actually where I like to see it in calendar format. So all of the to-dos that we have to do within the project will then also show up on this calendar format. Makes it easy for both of us to kind of see visually like what's coming up and whether there are any conflicts with their calendars. This is an incredible space that I've created for all of my client portals. The amazing thing is it is a template. So with one click, I've created this whole page for us. And all I need to do is just update it to any specifics for that project coming up. And then I just need to share this space with my client. And I actually do all of my communication with my clients in this space as well. So that's like the client portal space here. And those three sections are actually the most important sections that I've created within Notion that's created this like amazing ecosystem for my service-based part of my business. And then in the rest of these different sections, I've created different pages for, my shop and SOP, which I think is super important for any freelancing business. SOP stands for Standard Operating Procedures. And basically, if I ever wanted to hire someone to complete a task within my business in the future, they can just go into this space and look at all of the different steps of how I do things within my business. So it's super important to kind of document your systems and how you do things within your business. So not only can you reference it in the future to do things faster, but you can also share those procedures with other people or teammates that you might hire in the future. One of my favorite spaces is also sweet words of encouragement. So I actually write down all of the testimonials and keep track of all of the sweet messages that my clients send me. It's just a great space for me to go back to and remind myself that I'm doing a great job. Even in the lowest days where I feel super stressed, I can just go back into this page and just look at all of the beautiful things that clients have told me about, or just encouragements that help me get through those hard days. And then I also have like referral affiliate programs that I'm part of. So I keep all of those links within this page as well. And yeah, this is like basically my powerhouse, my ecosystem that I've built for my business. And right now, this is like a work in progress. It will always be a work in progress. I think that's kind of the beauty behind Notion as well, is like every space kind of changes as I build on different aspects of my business, whether I am starting course creations, or maybe in the future, I'll work on my Pinterest and maybe I'll create this Pinterest space here. It grows with your business, and because of the flexibility, I can use it for almost anything I can ever imagine that will be built on to my business in the future. And yeah, I hope this was inspiring for you, and just giving this tour, I hope it was helpful to just kind of see how other people are using Notion to organize their business. And that is it, you guys. I hope you enjoyed that little tour of my little home for my business on Notion. In case you didn't hear though, I am actually launching my latest course called Client HQ, Streamline Your Client Project Management with Notion. And it is basically a full-on complete blueprint of how I use Notion to manage my service-based business. So you saw earlier that I have this little client dashboard, and then I have my internal workspace, and then I actually have my collaborative client portal. I actually, in this course, will show you exactly how you build out those databases and connect them together, and then also my whole workflow of how I actually use that system to work with my clients. So if you are a service-based provider, whether you are a coach or a designer like I am, a copywriter, a fitness instructor, I don't know, if you run any other service-based business that you work with clients online, then this might be of interest to you. The course is actually launching on March 20th, and right now the waitlist is open until the 17th, and I'm going to be announcing a very secret surprise on the 17th for anyone who is within the waitlist. So get on the waitlist now. If you're watching this after the 20th, then the course has launched. So I will also link it down below so you can enroll in the course. And yeah. One other note, it is available on Skillshare. So if you already have a Skillshare membership, then ta-da, you already have access to the course on March 20th. If you do not have Skillshare, then the course is available for purchase separately. So again, links are in the description below. I'm so excited to see you guys within the course. I have poured my heart and soul into it, and I hope you guys enjoy it. So anyways, I will see you guys in the next video, or I guess in the course. All right, bye.